Hi friends, today I want to tell you a true short story that I fictionalized for your entertainment. So watch, sit back and listen. I hope you enjoy it. Short story, a true tale spanning two continents and cultures. This story begins in China, a vast country that spans 3 time zones, but only operates on central Beijing time to eliminate confusion generated by daylight savings time. If you look at the map of China, you might notice, with a bit of imagination, that the country looks like a big rooster. Our story starts in the province of Liaoning, a small coastal town bordering the Yellow Sea in North Korea. The capital is Shenyang. The town of Baiyuquan is located on the northeast coast of the Bohai Sea and in the northwest part of the Liaodong Peninsula that borders on North Korea. The town is known for its seafood of crab and fish, such as Japanese Spanish mackerel, also known as Baiyu in Chinese, that has been harvested since the Qing dynasty. Although Baiyuquan started as a fishing village, it is now the site of a large seaport for bulk carriers and container ships. Fishing is no longer the main livelihood as coastal waters have suffered from pollution, which has affected the fish stock, but some families continue the tradition, supported by tourism as a seasonal source of income. One such family is the Ming couple, Xiaoming and Da Ming, who still carry on some traditions, staying active in their 50s. Their only daughter, having had the benefit of higher education, had emigrated to Canada over 20 years ago and had a family of her own now. Xiaoming missed her daughter, Danny, but felt secure that she had a good husband and a daughter of her own. All the families that live off the bounty from the sea and tourism help one another as they prosper by working together. One such communal project was the rebuilding of a crab cannery that had burned accidentally in early winter. With the financial assistance of local government funding, all the fishing families pitched in to help the construction of the new cannery. They had reached a major milestone in the construction of the cannery, and the main foundation, along with the roofing framework, had been completed during the low tourist and fishing seasons. This meant that it was time for another tradition to celebrate the progress to date. All the families would contribute to a communal potluck of food and participate in festivities which culminated with the blessing of the building. The blessing ceremony is performed by attaching red dyed cloth banners to key sections of the building. During the committee meeting of the local families involved in the building project, they decided that the best time to hold a blessing ceremony was when the moon was full and tides were high, like the spirits of the fishermen. There was going to be a potluck dinner on that day, and Xiaoming was going to make enough dumplings to feed the army of workers as her contribution. Xiaoming had started the dough the night before, so it would be ready for making steamed dumplings the next day. Her husband, Da Ming, had been up since 5 a.m. to start the fire, fetch the meat and veggies, then buy some rice wine for toasting later. Da Ming walked over to the construction site to help set up tables once his wife started cooking the dumplings. There was already a large gathering of participants setting up for the festivities by the time Da Ming arrived to volunteer his efforts. Da Ming arrived at the tail end of the work, so all he had left to do was help with the chairs. Da Ming worked diligently, completing the last details of setting up the dining area, and was invited to sit down for a drink. Since there wasn't anything else to do, Da Ming sat in the kitchen area and made himself useful by warding off any animals or birds looking for a free meal. Easily bored, Da Ming killed some annoying flies that had gathered around some of the food. Da Ming had noticed a spider that had spun a web in the corner frame of the table's legs, so he entertained himself by feeding flies to the spider and drinking a glass of strong liquor. It wasn't long before the liquor took its effect, and Da Ming fell asleep with his chair leaning back against a brick wall. Not long after Da Ming fell into his liquor-induced sleep, his frowning wife showed up with 2 baskets of delicious dumplings. Xiaoming was more than a little flustered, having hauled over 2 large baskets of food without the assistance of Da Ming, whom she had been waiting for help. Xiaoming found her husband leaned back in a chair, snoring away without a care in the world. Da Ming had been asleep long enough to attract insects, and a huge mosquito had landed on Da Ming's forehead. Xiaoming noticed the mosquito gorging itself on her dear husband's blood, and responded by removing one of her sandals and smacking Da Ming on his forehead, killing the mosquito and venting her frustration at the same time. Da Ming was abruptly awakened, but due to the effects of the liquor, he never noticed how his wife had done, and was glad he had not fallen off his chair. After he recovered, Da Ming smiled back at his wife, a bit puzzled about the laughter of all who witnessed the bold act. Xiaoming scolded her husband for forgetting to assist her in transporting the food as she wiped off the blood from Da Ming's forehead. They were a cute couple who got along well no matter what happened, and soon reconciled to get involved in the festivities together as it was time to eat. After the feeding frenzy was over, some local government officials made speeches and posted a banner on a wall of the new building for good luck. The blessing ceremony was not complete until the actual workers applied their touch of good luck. Red is the most popular traditional color of banners, so it's coveted for its luck and fortune. A group of the workers and family members added their own red banners and bundles of rice and wheat offerings up on the roof as tradition dictated. There was singing and dancing that followed throughout the afternoon, and everyone enjoyed the festivities. Near the end of the celebrations, there was a contest where every family participated in a draw of straws to see which one got a piece of the red cloth banners. Da Ming was one of those happy winners of red cloth banners and promptly gave it to Xiao Ming. Xiao Ming and Da Ming enjoyed the walk home in the moonlight after the fireworks show had completed in the evening. Xiao Ming was thinking about her daughter Danny and decided she wanted to share the good luck bestowed by the red banner. Xiao Ming decided to put the red cloth banner to good use by making a pair of shorts for her son-in-law. It's a tradition in some Chinese families to wear red undergarments for celebrating Chinese New Year. It didn't take long before the red shorts had been made, and Xiao Ming contacted her daughter to keep in touch and notify her of the incoming gift. Red shorts were shipped to Canada, where Xiao Ming's daughter and family lived a continent away on the other side of the world. It was with joy that Danny, Xiao Ming's daughter, opened the surprise package from her mother, then read the accompanying letter and news from home. The package had arrived just before Chinese New Year's Day, which occurs on the first day of the new year based on the lunar calendar. Danny presented the red shorts to her husband Some Do, and he was obliged to put them on for at least 24 hours to honor the gift and the giver. Chinese New Year celebration was with family and friends, so there was a large gathering that took place. Since it was the year of the pig, Some Do decided to order an entire roast pig to be delivered for the festivities. A lot of toasting was done, and Chinese liquor is very strong, so one can get drunk in short order when drinking 38 to 60 proof alcohol. The following day, Some Do had the mother of all hangovers, and only woke up at the sound of his wife Danny noisily cleaning up the mess from the night before. Danny had come up to vacuum the stairs and bedroom in an attempt to wake Some, since she didn't want him to waste the day sleeping away. Only after Danny had opened the blinds and curtains, letting the sun's rays into the room, did her husband, Some Do, finally get out of bed. Danny noticed that there were red stains all over the sheets as Some went to take a shower. Moments later, Danny heard a scream from her husband, Some, who had just entered the washroom. Danny ran to the washroom and broke out in hysterical laughter from the spectacle that awaited her. She was shocked and amused to see that every part of her husband's skin that had been covered by the shorts were stained red, including his genitals, minus the white spot at his belly button. It took 3 days before Some's natural skin color and dignity was restored. Danny couldn't help but write a long letter to her mother to warm her heart and tickle her funny bone. Danny and Some will never forget that incident, and both are able to laugh it off every Chinese New Year. Needless to say, Some Do no longer wears those shorts anymore.